Here we are on our fourth section. We just finished off with a movement, pat wild horse's mane and thrust. Our next movement, and the first one for this series, is snake creeps down. Let me demonstrate that for you first from classroom reference and then open position. You see part of the transition as I move into what's going to be snake climbs the tree. But let's go over the details from open position on snake creeps down. We're in the thrust position. First thing we're going to do is move the toe position out and the heel position out. This creates a longer base for the stretch to be more effective. I'm going to be shifting my weight to the rear leg as I reach back to strike in the groin with my crane's wrist. I then turn my attention back to the front and proceed to move to my next notion. One more time with consistency. And to finish off from classroom reference. Snake creeps down. Practice it and you're ready for the next lesson. We just finished snake creeps down. We're going to go into the next movement, which is snake climbs the tree and push. Technically, the push is a form of a throw. We'll leave the details for the throw later. Right now, we're going to get snake climbs tree and pushes. I'm going to do that from the thrust so you see the continuity from snake creeps down into snake climbs the tree and pushes. First, I'll do that from camera reference. And now from inside reference. Let's break it down in detail from the inside reference. We've come into the thrust. Toe goes out, heel goes out, and we go into snake creeps down. At this point, as we turn our attention to the front where the attack is coming, we sweep low, going under a kick. These toes will come up into the corner as though you're grabbing a leg. When I have my weight over the base support leg at this point, I will stand up vertically, lifting and coming to a one leg. Notice the spiral motion of my left arm as I come in with the hand lifting the leg into the step and push. Notice the push-pull of my hand motion. Let's do that for continuity. From the thrust, and once from classroom reference. This is one of the more strength required motions. Practice, Do your leg exercises, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Our next motion after snake climbs the tree and push is to go into golden rooster stands on left leg and golden rooster stands on right leg. Let me demonstrate that from classroom reference first. Golden rooster stands on left leg and golden rooster stands on right leg. From open position, we do a retreat. The left hand will be blocking the groin cover in this clockwise deflection. The lead hand will be spiraling up, lifting the lead leg. I step back. Likewise, my right arm will now be circling counterclockwise as I deflect to the groin protection, and my left arm will be spiraling up, lifting the leg to the guarded golden rooster position. In order to give you good understanding, let's do that facing camera position. As though I've just tree and push. Retreat step. Spiral hands, lifting leg. Notice the diagonal groin cover of the golden rooster's leg. I step back. The hands start their spiraling motion as the elbow picks up the guard. And I'm ready for my next motion, which will be repulse monkey. Let me do that one more time for you from classroom reference. Practice this well, and we'll see you in the next lesson. From golden rooster stands on right leg, we begin a series called repulse monkey. There are actually 3 steps: repulse monkey right, repulse monkey left, and repulse monkey right a second time. Let me do that first from camera reference or classroom reference, and then from open position. Repulse monkey right. Let me do that from open position. Let's break that down in the detail. I'm standing initially in golden rooster stands on right leg. I begin by placing my left leg behind me, and we start with this spiraling back palm drag. The right hand drifts behind. Think of a pulley here. As the fingers pull a string that goes around an imaginary pulley to these fingers, the pulling of this arm brings the palm strike of the front arm. Likewise, because this foot was pointing in the corner, this pulling mechanism straightens the toes of the lead foot. To begin the next motion, the hand will spiral. The left hand drifts back. And as this is happening, the step to the corner takes place. The fingers here pull the string on the imaginary pulley, which brings these fingers forward. This toe straightens in the process. Once again, the hands go in motion. The step takes place. The pull and push takes place as the foot is straightened into position. Let's do that with continuous motion so that we see the continuity. Golden rooster stands on right leg to repulse monkey right, to repulse monkey left and to repulse monkey right a second time. One more time from classroom reference. The repulse monkey series. We'll see you in the next lesson. From the last repulse monkey right, we're going to go into a movement called diagonal flying. I'm going to do that again from classroom reference, and then I'll have to show you an open position for the details. Having finished repulse monkey right, diagonal flying, let's go over the details. From our repulse monkey position, our first motion is going to be able to create the moon on the left side of our body. You're familiar with this from our beginning posture. We have left over right. Our right foot will go into the corner, diagonal 45. As we transfer the weight to that leg, it will free what was our front leg to pivot to the 45. As we straighten the toes, we transfer the weight. The hands pass and the diagonal flying comes into the throat. The diagonal is from this stroke. However, the planting of the palm up ridge hand is into the larynx of a person our own height. Notice the groin position check here. It is left and right aligned with my larynx, and up and down aligned with the larynx of a person your own height. One more time from repulse monkey right. Diagonal flying. Let's do that once again from classroom reference, just so you see here the forming of the moon as I'm stepping diagonally, pivoting, and completing the strike. Diagonal flying. We'll see you in the next lesson. Here we're going to demonstrate parting of the wild horses. In parting of the wild horses, that's done from diagonal flying. I'll do that from classroom reference. Your view will be obstructed, but then I'll do it from camera reference or open position. I'm going to do this all the way from repulse monkey right, so you see the continuity. Parting of the wild horses from reference. Parting of the wild horses. Let's take that from having completed diagonal flying. Here you'll notice that we shift the weight to the rear, allowing us to get the 45-degree turn of the lead toe. As we transfer weight, we create the moon or ball position on our right side. Our leg comes up for balance and we take a forward step. And you see the passing of the hands is executed so many times in the form. But in parting of the wild horses, we're going to continue a diagonal sweep all the way to our left so that our palm is actually facing 45 relative to our position. This will set us up for our next motion. But for right now, let's link those two. Let me do it once again from Repulse Monkey to give you continuity while coming into camera. And one last from classroom reference. Take time to practice this, and we'll see you in your next lesson. Our next motion is shooting star, and this will be obstructed almost completely, but at least you'll see a rear viewpoint or rear perspective of this motion. Then I'll turn and face camera to give you proper detail. Not a lot to see there. Let's show you what we're really doing. We have come into the motion, parting of the wild horses. We're going to step up and bring toe to toe and heel to heel. We're going to rotate our left hand as though hooking behind the neck of a person our own height. And as we pull towards ourselves, we're going to have the clenched fist come up and impact into the assailant's jaw as we pull the head by and the fist shoots up. The palm will end up under my elbow in a centered position with the arm in the center of my own body, having hit somebody my own height with these two knuckles in the chin. One more time. From having come into parting of the wild horses, we hook, we pull, and we punch. Shooting star. Let's do that from the regular classroom reference once again so that we can see how we're moving into that motion. Shooting star from two perspectives. Practice, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Our next motion is a series of strikes, beginning with strike to groin with hammer fist, elbow strike, and return tiger to mountain. Let's execute that motion from classroom reference, and then I'll face camera for the details. Having finished shooting star, you can see that it's going to be important that we do in fact have two references. In this case, open camera position also happens to be facing camera position. From shooting star, let's work the details from this position. We've struck with our shooting star ram's head fist. We then pivot looking to the corner as we protect our high line with a block and hit hammer fist to the groin. Taking a half step into an empty toe step, our fist comes up and is driven the elbow into the opponent's face our own height. We double palm check, press down in an oval motion working with our body. We follow up the arm or contour with a knife hand, hitting the person in the throat, our own height. Notice the supported left hand palm frame. Let's work that in continuous motion to see the timing. I think that angle gives you the best detail for the hand position, but once again, from rear reference or classroom reference to get those details. Practice that motion, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Our next motion is to punch under elbow. Let me first demonstrate that from classroom reference, and then we'll go into open position. Punch under elbow. From open position. Let's break that down into a little detail. We're in our empty toe, return tiger to mountain. We sense the attack is coming. We turn our head. We step with the left while checking with the left. We step with the right while checking with the right. Notice the toes pointing at a 45 degree. As we come up with this block, we find the spiraling left hand blocks as our leg comes into the empty heel position. As we plant the heel, the hip rotates with the fist, striking under the elbow. Let's do that for continuity. Step 1, block 1. Step 2, block 2. Step 3, spiral and plant with fist. Again, from the classroom reference. Punch under elbow. We'll see you in the next lesson. We're going to be working the motion Fair Lady Works the Shuttles. It takes up from our last motion of punch under elbow. I'm going to teach this all from classroom reference because there's no exact way to get this motion other than the way that it's actually done. I will, however, break the details down for you. First, Fair Lady works the shuttles so we see the motion itself. Fair Lady works the shuttles. From our initial position of punch under elbow, my left hand is going to become what I'm going to refer to as the mirror hand. I look into the palm of my hand and my head will follow the mirror as I turn. My foot pointing in the corner. I'll then take my right toe and point it perpendicular. Transferring the weight, I will step into my first corner position, which in this case is the northeast corner. The mirror hand always becomes the blocking hand, the opposite hand, the strike. The strike will always become the mirror hand as I shift weight, pivot, and do a 270-degree turn with the toes now pointing in this direction. I transfer the weight. The mirror hand becomes the blocking hand, the opposite hand, the striking hand. The striking hand becomes the mirror hand. I shift weight, allowing these toes to turn to the wall. I transfer weight. As I step, the mirror hand becomes the blocking hand, the opposite hand, the striking hand. The striking hand becomes the mirror hand. As I shift weight, toe in, make my 270-degree turn with these toes, now pointing at that wall. I transfer, right leg with mirror hand doing the block, opposite hand doing the strike. Let's look at that once again from punch under the elbow. While I have the mirror hand turning with my body, the other hand is in motion as it chambers with this side of the body so that I can drive the strike with the hip, The strike becomes my mirror. I have to shift weight. As I watch my hand, I get the complete turn of the body. Transfer the weight again, and the mirror hand becomes the blocking hand, the opposite hand, the strike. The strike, the mirror as I shift weight, allowing the toe to change position. I reposition my weight, and now the leg with the blocking hand is always the leg that's stepping. The striking hand becomes the mirror hand. I shift weight and I watch the mirror as I complete the turn. Notice that the blocking hand, which was the mirror hand, is the leg that I always step with. You're going to have to listen to this tape several times and practice each movement in sequence. Practice is the only answer. Come to class, ask many questions, or if you've bought a DVD, feel free to email me and I'll help you get through this. This is the end of the 4th DVD tape on our Tai Chi Chuan Complete. We'll see you in the 5th DVD and the final in the series.